And good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Once again, I'm Nicodemus Kane. Today is March the 23rd of 2022. I'm coming to you from the windy city of my basement. I don't know if you guys can hear them or not. I listen to it on the headphones, and I can't tell if they're there, but I have the fans running in the background because we got slapped by some water coming in the house, of course. Not as much as it was before, because I think I know. I think we've narrowed it down where the water's coming in at, but it wasn't nearly as bad, and we were able to actually get somebody to come out here and look at him, and he is saying that our groundwater, it's just way too high. We live in a high water area. What do you expect? And he was able to find a place along the back wall in a crawl space where the water's just coming in. It's just like a faucet. It's just, constant. So he dug out a little trench and put our one little portable sump pump right on top of it. And it's digging out. I mean, it's not digging out. It's, what's the word? Bailing us out. And it seems to be working. As soon as he dug that out and put it where it was supposed to be, the other two pumps started slowing down, which was amazing. Makes me think that maybe we need another pump in a better place. I don't know. Because if we're going to have that much groundwater, we definitely need to have need to understand where the water's coming in at, and we need to have the pumps doing what they need to do. I don't know. He seems to think that we can put some sealer on the wall, and then that'll take care of some of it. But then he said that if it works, we got to seal the whole wall, and I don't want to dig up the whole wall. I really don't. Outside of that, we called some other people. We're going to get the gutters fixed, which is what we need to do, I think, first. Everything I look up and everybody I talk to, the first thing they say is, keep the water away from the house. I guess that's the way it's supposed to be. But then there's other things, too, that I'm not going to get into because we're not here for that, man. We're not here to talk about my water woes, even though it's a big part of my life right now. And we have been so extremely frustrated because of it. But I thank the Father. We prayed last night that He would keep the water from coming in anymore. And He did that for us. And I want to thank Him more than anything else for doing that, because we were supposed to have really heavy rainfall last night. And I prayed. I said, God, please just make the water stop. And through God, anything is possible. So I think more than anything, He slowed down the rain for us to help us get to this point. So now all I can do is ask Him to keep it like this until we can figure out ways that we can fix the house. So I just wanted to stop and say that. Thank you, Father. More than anything else, thank you for helping us. Thank you for sending that guy out yesterday so that he could get in there and he could at least help tell us what he thinks is going on. Now it's just a matter of getting it fixed. So that's the next steps. All right. Anyways, today is Psalm 119. This is NUN. NUN, the 14th letter. Where are we at here? There we are. The 14th letter of the alphabet. This is pronounced NUN, even though it's spelled NUN, N-U-N, but it's NUN. The pictograph. So it's interesting the way that they say this. So the letter NUN is the 14th letter of the alphabet, having the numeric value of 50. The pictograph for NUN looks something like a seed, whereas the classic Hebrew script is constructed of a bent vav with a crown like a zayin. Is that what it was? Zayin? Zayin, that's what it was. But I'm going to show you this first so you guys can see this. If you can see this, it's so small. You know how it is. So they call it a pictograph and they say it's a seed. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, that's a seed, all right. That's the man seed. That looks like a sperm. Even though there are other seeds, trees have seeds that I've seen that look like that. But I saw that and I was like, seed. Yep, totally. Seed. Okay, I'll go with it. I mean, you know. I'll go with it for now. But yeah, and then the other one, like they said, is constructed of a bent vav, which is the symbol of man with a crown over top of it. This is it says it represents faithfulness and the reward for faithfulness. And they say even the word NUN, which I guess is actually in Aramaic, what does it say? In Aramaic, the word NUN means fish. And it's where they're saying that it's kind of where they get the fish, the symbol of the fish, and Christ, because it's that faithfulness. It's a symbol of activity in life. I don't buy into the symbols so much. You know me. If you've listened to even half of my videos, you know that sometimes symbols mean things that may not necessarily mean what you think they mean. But it is a bent vav, suggesting a humbled man crowned with glory, which is the zayin, the crown over top of it. So it is a man it is a king bending over to in faithfulness, not to faithfulness, in faithfulness. And they say that it is a symbol of Christ than himself, because he was faithful, and his reward was that he was the Mashiach. He was the Christ, and that we can be rewarded as well if we are faithful. It's what NUN. It's what they're saying. I don't know. You could look up 20 different websites and probably get 20 different things. That's just what I'm going with for right now. So we'll go with that. But let's go ahead and read this. Remember, it is faithfulness and a reward for faithfulness. NUN. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. I have sworn, and I will perform it, that I will keep thy righteous judgments. I am afflicted very much. Quicken me, O Lord, according unto thy word. Accept, I beseech thee, the freewill offerings of my mouth, O Lord, and teach me thy judgments. My soul is continually in my hand. Yet do I not forget thy law. The wicked have laid a snare for me, yet I erred not from thy precepts. Thy testimonies have I taken as an heritage forever, for they are the rejoicing of my heart. I have inclined my heart to perform thy statutes always, even unto the end. Amen. All right, you can already hear some stuff going on in there, because we always, especially with the letters, we have been seeing that they correspond to some of the things that are being said in the Psalms themselves. So we'll go back through it. And again, if you guys can hear the fans, I'm sorry. I'm having to speak up just to be able to hear myself. I can't even hear myself in the headphones anymore. I got them all the way up. Yeah, I got them all the way up. It's so bad in here. It is. I can't stand it, and my wife actually said she can't believe that I actually tried to move back down to the basement after the rain that we had the other day, but it's like I can't sit at the kitchen table anymore. I can't do it. It's not, it doesn't feel comfortable. I wasn't getting work done. It just wasn't where I needed to be, and there's no other place in the house unless I move my whole desk that I can go to. So I chose this. Now, moving the desk over to the other side of the room, it worked. It worked because the place where the water's coming in at, which we finally figured out, where it's coming in at the front. Or it's coming at the front of the house, which means it's coming from my side wall. It thoroughly saturated the place where my desk used to be. So I am glad that I moved. So I am over here, and I am nice and dry, and all the water is behind me. It actually came right up to the back of my chair, which I think is hilarious. But anyways, sorry again about the stupid fans. But we'll get this fixed. We're going to get this fixed. We're going to get this fixed. I don't know how we're going to pay for it, but we're going to get this fixed. So let's go back over this again, starting at the top. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path, which makes me think of the story of the bridesmaids. Was it the bridesmaids? Who were waiting for the wedding. Some of them brought oil and some didn't. Or didn't bring enough oil. Some of them planned to bring enough oil and others didn't. And when the oil ran out for certain ones, they had to run back into town, and they were not able to join the wedding because they were not prepared. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Makes you think. I have sworn, and I will perform it, that I will keep thy righteous judgments. I am afflicted very much. Quicken me, O Lord, according unto thy word. We are afflicted. We are constantly being bombarded by the evil of this world. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's every win. It's 24/7. And all we are trying to do is make it through. Accept, I beseech thee, the free will offerings of my mouth, O Lord, and teach me thy judgments. Accept the free will offerings of my mouth. I will accept you openly with my mouth. Which immediately makes me think of when they would, so many teachers over the past several years have said, when you come to Christ, you have to openly say it. Because again, there's power in words. There's a power in speech. There's power in the things that we say. And to willingly say, I accept you, Christ, into my heart with every ounce of my being. Father, please come into my heart and my soul and making me something better. There's power to that. There's power in our speech. Accept the free will offerings of my mouth. Had to contemplate that for a second. My soul is continually in my hand, yet do I not forget thy law. Here we go, yet again. The wicked have laid a snare for me, yet I erred not from thy precepts. The wicked are constantly trying to get me. Whether it's through trying to convince me that doing something that I know is wrong is good for me. It's calling good for evil, calling evil good. Whether it's through just saying, oh, it's okay to do this. Oh, it's okay if you live like this. Oh, it's okay if you celebrate this. It's fine. Now, again, I will not say, you're supposed to celebrate this a certain way, do this a certain way. That's going to be on you. I will say, though, that God commands us to not worship other gods the way that the heathens worship their gods, the way that the pagans worship their gods. That's literally what he tells us. So you're going to have to come to terms with that eventually. It's a lot of people are going to have to come to terms with that eventually. Is it going to be something that's going to hurt your salvation? You're going to have to take that up with the big man. I can't take that up with the Father yourself. I cannot say for sure, but I'm going to tell you right now that the book tells us not to worship, and it's not even just holidays. We could do the whole Christmas thing again. We could do the whole Easter thing again. We could go through that, and we could spend hours and hours and hours talking about just Christmas and Easter and Valentine's Day and Halloween and probably St. Patrick's Day and May Day and we could go through every single one of them over and over and over again. Yoga. It's not just holidays. Yoga. It's paganistic rituals of shaping your body into forms for religious purposes. That's legit stuff. If anybody ever comes up to you, we actually had somebody do this. We were coming out of a comic festival. It was about 3-4 years ago. One of the comic book conventions in Indianapolis, and we were coming out of it, and there was a guy that was coming up. He had a couple books in his hand, and he asked my wife. He said, "Excuse me, ma'am, do you practice yoga?" And she said, "Sorry, I'm a Christian." And he walked away because he knew there's a religion hidden behind yoga. He knew. He understood it. He looked at me and I just shook my head. I said, no. I said, all right. He walked away. But he understood it. There is a religion hidden behind yoga that people don't understand. It is about moving your body in very specific ways as a form of worship to their gods. And it blows my mind every time I see an advertisement for Christian yoga. It's like, you people don't understand what's going on. Actually, you do, because you know why? Psalm 119, this is verse 110. The wicked have laid a snare for me. They are doing their damnedest to lay snares for you, to trap you, to get you to believe one thing that turns out to be the exact opposite. I could go on about eating pork and stuff, and I'm not going to say that that's going to be, he commands us not to eat it, and there's a reason. Pork's the bottom feeder. What do you want? There are garbage dump animals. Pigs are one of them. Are you going to lose your salvation because you eat pork? I don't know. I'm not the best at it either. I can tell you that much right now. I don't eat pure pig. I don't eat bacon. I don't eat pork chops, all that kind of stuff. But you get tricked very easily. If you are doing the whole pork-free diet, this is just for the people that are doing it. If you're doing the whole pork-free diet, you need to really start checking everything you eat, because they hide that stuff in everything. Not just candy, not just gelatin, not just the little stuff. Apparently, they use the oils from the skin for cheese, for processed cheese. I did not know that. And it's not just the little guys that, it's not just the big guys. Let's put it that way. It's not just like, Kraft and Sargento and some of the other ones. It's the little guys too. It's almost like all processed cheese has this, and it's very hard to find out too. But they have this pork oil that it's an animal fat that they take from the skin. So it's just they use every part of the pig, but they take it and they process it as the oil that helps them to make cheese. So no matter what you do, they get your camera going. There were other things as well. What was it? There was something in potato chips, like some of the oils in potato chips. I know some of them say vegetable oils and stuff like that. That's fine. Some of the lesser brands, though, some of the barbecue sauces, even to the point somebody was talking about they possibly put it in ketchup and mustard. Just it's like those messed up stories you hear about how they're like putting human flesh into fast food hamburgers. It's like those stories. It's just like it's everywhere. It's not just one or two things. It's like in everything, and you're just like, holy crap. I don't know. You can't prove it. I mean, some of you can. Like I said, the cheese stuff, processed cheese stuff, they admit it. They'll just straight up say, yes, we do. But people don't know that. I will see the guys that want to say, well, we're totally pork intolerant. We can't eat any pork because God commands us to. And then they're turning around and eating a salad and putting, some Kraft shredded cheese on top of their salad. And I'm just like, you really don't know, do you? You just really don't know. Or they're, what was that? There was something else. God, I can't remember what it was. But I'm guilty of that. I'm just as guilty of that as everybody else. And I understand how bad it is, and it's very hard unless you're producing your own foods. And we're not to that point yet at all. We have talked about it, and now that we have a house big enough and a yard big enough, we've talked about goats and, goat milk. And we've talked about chickens, and we've talked about all these things. And like I said, we have room. We totally have room to be able to do this. So, we're a step closer to that if we decide to go that way. But until that point, I am still, unfortunately, falling into those snares. I will admit it. I have already said I am not perfect. I am the first one to admit that I am not perfect. And there are snares that the enemy has laid that I have fallen into. I admit it 100%. Hold on 1 second. All right. Of course, I had to blow my nose. Of course. It's the moisture in the air. It's getting me. So, anyways, I am definitely not perfect, and that's why I don't. That's why I'm not going to judge anybody for it. I'm not really going to judge anybody on anything. I'm going to say first, you're going to have to take it up with the Father more than anything else, and then we can come back and discuss it. Maybe somebody can come back and tell me a better way that I'm supposed to live, because I'm always wondering. There's always better ways to do this, and I'm sure other people have it. And I've seen some people that will strictly follow the Torah, and it seems like they do so much that they just don't have time for anything else. They just don't seem to. Some people I've seen that have come to terms with it, and they're able to go through it and enjoy it, and they love it, and it's great. And there's other people that want to get so far into it and follow it so fervently that it becomes all their life. And I look at that and I think, God told us we are going to find comfort in Him, in His Word, in His law. And that doesn't look like comfort to me. Those people they're burning the candles at both ends, and they just don't look happy. But again, at the same time, there's others that, that I do not push the Hebrew roots stuff. I don't push anything really. I tell you what's in the book. This is pretty much what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to understand it, because I don't understand it. I'm not perfect in any way, shape, or form. But there are some people that follow that follow, the Hebrew roots, that follow the, trying to go back to what the Bible says, and they have found the balance. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the balance, and it's kind of hard, It's hard to pull yourself out of the snares of the wicked ones of this world. They want you to stay here. They want you to stay here in this world where nothing matters, where anything goes. Do as thou wilt. Eat all the junk you want and live the way you want and all the other crap. It's hard to pull out of that. I absolutely admit that. It is very hard to do that, and I don't know how many times I've I've had to come to terms with, right now I can't do this. Right now I can't do this. But Father, when I get to that point, please help me figure that out. Until then, help me grow in other areas. And I think that's a lot of what a lot of teachers don't teach the way that they should, is that you shouldn't try to absolutely dive in whole hog, ready to go, that it is a process. And I have talked about this before, and I have gotten the message from God about this before, is that it is the cup of water analogy. I know I've gone over this. Your cup, your body, your soul, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is a cup, and it's dirty water. It started out as clean, but as you have gone through this world, you have added crap to it, and sin and garbage and filth and junk and all kinds of stuff, and it has muddied the water. It has dirtied the water. What God does for you is he comes along and he starts pouring pure, clean water into that cup. And as you start filling that cup up, slowly, it starts pushing all of that crap to the top, and it overflows, and it falls out the edge, so that you are left with a cup of nice, clean pureness, pure water, pure and perfect. And it is a slow process. It is not quick. If you do it quickly, then all the water will just mingle together, and nothing will come of it. It's slow. I don't know if anybody's ever seen oil in water. I used to have it was like a clock. It was a clock that had oil on top and it had water on the bottom. And if you shake it up, the water and the oil will bubble, and it'll all mix together and it'll look really weird. But if you sit it down and let it take its time to separate, it will go back to where the oil is on top and the water's on the bottom. And it's kind of like that. It's kind of like all the bad stuff that you ever had in your glass, your cup, is the oil. And if you pour water into it too much, it'll just all mix together and it won't do anything. But if you slowly pour it, and that oil will rise and come right off the edge. And I'm sitting there doing the hand movements. I don't know why, because you people can't even see it. So, what the heck? But it's one of those things. And the snares, the traps that the wicked have put for you are only there to keep you from being pure, to keep your cup from filling up with goodness. Because they got to throw one little extra thing into it. They got to throw one little extra piece into it that makes it that much harder to pull it out. And that's what that says right there. The wicked have laid a snare for me, yet I err not from thy precepts. Yet I would not fall for their nonsense. Yet I would not fall for their traps. I followed your word. I followed your way. And I've come out better for it. There you go. Does that sound good? I think it sounds good. Let's move on. I'm looking at the time. I'm like, another one of those, 10-minute off-the-cuff tirades. Thy testimonies have I taken as an heritage forever, for they are the rejoicing of my heart. I have inclined my heart to perform thy statutes always, even unto the end. Amen. Okay. Put that there. I found it's one of my hairs. That's lovely. I'm letting my hair grow. Or I've been letting my hair grow. Let's put it that way. I just kind of, stopped worrying about it. Some of the videos, I look back on some of the old videos whenever I get into like my YouTube video thing, and I see how small the beard was, and I see how short my hair was, and it's just like over the past 2 years since they sent me to work from home, I stopped worrying. I stopped cutting my hair and stopped trimming my beard, and it's like I'm like a damn teenager again. I do. And it's ridiculous. But I keep finding hairs everywhere. Before my wife decided to put all of her hair up into dreadlocks, all I would ever do is find her hair everywhere. Everywhere. And now that all of her hair is up in dreadlocks, I keep finding all of my hair, and I'm like, I even joke about it. I wanted to blame her for finding the hair, but it's like, no, this is mine. Crap. It's not only that, but it's gray hair, so I definitely know it's not hers because she has zero gray hair. The woman just will not grow old. Which for her, if you knew the kind of spirit she has, she's a very youthful spirit. She's going to be dragged kicking and screaming into old age. So anyways, you already kind of saw this, so we'll just kind of glance over it again. There wasn't an actual meaning. There was a lot of like different, esoteric meanings. I don't know how much of that I want to go through because, they start talking about the Talmud and all this other kind of stuff, and you're just like, eh. So, NUN, of course, like I said, you have it's a bent over vav with crown on top. That's what they said. And then with Gematria 50, the pictograph is a seed. And the Hebrew script, like I said, is a bent over vav. The word NUN, which we never looked up, NUN is said to represent both faithfulness and the reward of faithfulness. The word itself, so maybe that's what they're talking about. Okay. The word itself is a NUN vav NUN. The first one, we will read from right to left, is bent over. And then the vav in the middle, and then the second one is upright. So there's probably some kind of meaning there that I'm not pulling. Then they talk about Yeshua, Yahusha. Either way, I'm still trying to find the best way to pronounce it. Yahusha seems to work. The word NUN means fish, a symbol of activity in life. The first reference of the word is in reference to Joshua, the son of NUN. Joshua, the one who succeeded Moses, was able to enter the promised land, was the son of life, a clear picture of Yeshua. Let's just use their term, their pronunciation, our Messiah. There you go. Notice that the form of NUN presents a bent vav, suggesting a humbled man crowned with glory. From the messianic point of view, we can see that Yeshua came as a man, was honored by his absolute humility while upon earth, and is now exalted as the righteous one who wears the golden crown of God upon his head forever and ever. Amen. There you go. So the symbol, the fish, again, I don't get into the symbol stuff. Yes, God uses symbols, but man has corrupted them just like everything else. So until I can get it from the highest authority, I am not going to be worrying about the fish or anything like that. You start getting into some different things whenever you start getting into symbology. You really do. They talk about the different things in the Bible or different things in the Torah, textual oddities. But then they start talking about the Talmud. It's just like, okay, we're going to keep walking. Gematria of NUN is 50. 50 days from the Exodus to the giving of the Torah. 50 years after Jubilee year. 50 references to Exodus in the Torah. Huh. 50 years of age before one has wisdom. Now that I did not know either. And I don't know where they got that from. Because they said something about 40 years was the enlightenment for man. I think it's what it said. And it's like, now it's 50 years as wisdom. Okay. But other than that was pretty much it. Nothing else in there to really worry about. You can go search it on your own. Feel free to go search it on your own. So, anyways, it's just about time for me to start loading up the computer so I can start working. I need to go check. Yeah. I can't tell if we're starting to get water in again or not. I definitely need to go check that, though, because we do have some storms coming. They said it wasn't heavy rain. They said it was storms, but it wasn't heavy rain, so I don't know what the heck that means exactly. Of course, now it's saying there's a thunderstorm possible after 1. What did it look like before? Did it all just pass over us? Yeah, we just had a big one just pass right over us. Didn't even know, because I can't hear a thing down here. But they're saying now thunderstorms possible after 1 p.m. Gee whiz, look forward to all that. So, yeah, I'm going to go check. That may just be the shadow. Because from my vantage point, I can look back and I can see the closet where we get the water come in from. So I'm going to go do that. So, you guys, take it easy. Everyone that's listening, whoever's listening. All 8 of the views that I got on YouTube and all... Oh, God, how many did I get yesterday? Something like 60? It was absurd. On BitChute. And it's probably people on BitChute that'll watch like 5 seconds and then go away. But, I mean, still, that's... it's that... It's the difference between putting every video that's loaded out there, or that's uploaded out there. It's the difference between that and only showing you what YouTube wants you to see. That's the difference. BitChute will let you see everything. YouTube only lets you see what they want to see. And that is the way of the world. That is exactly the way it is now. Because they don't want you to know the truth. You know why they want you to know they don't want you to know the truth? Because they are setting snares for you. They want you to be confused in this world. They want you to keep living in this world. They don't want you to find out that there is something better out there for you that will help you exist better. Because the more that you believe the lie, the better you can be controlled. And that is a fact beyond the facts. All right. So I will talk to you guys later. God bless you. Take care of yourselves. Pray for your cup to run over with the clean water of life. I was praying for that at one point in time, long time back, and was coming to a lot of realizations at the time. Really asking God, what does this mean? What does that mean? Things like that. And that was when I got that revelation, to look at it like a glass of water. And it was almost like exactly the same time that somebody else was talking about it in a video. And it was, that's how God works. That's how God talks to you. People have asked, well, how does God talk to you exactly? Do you hear a voice? Some people claim that they hear voices, and that's cool, I don't think I've ever actually directly heard the voice of God before, but I have asked him for help, and he has shown me, like a slap in the face, how it works. So, he'll talk to you. He absolutely does talk to you. All right. Enough of all that. Like I said, I'm gonna go so I can get stuff going today. You guys take care of yourselves. Pray for dryness. pray for the dryness of my basement. I will definitely update everything tomorrow. Update you guys on what's going on, because you're about the only people I talk to anymore. And I shall see you all later. Bye.